cracking the eggs and Mimi's getting the beater out. So Mimi's making me get 1.33 cups of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. Why are you using the cup? You just use the 1/3 of the cup 4 times.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Less dishes, Mimi. Work smarter, not harder. What do I do?
Plug it in.
Oh, that'd be a good step.
Maybe a little faster. We're putting the unsweetened baker's chocolate in with the milk, and then we put it on the stove and melt it. But we have to be careful to not get it too hot.
Gotta be careful to not get it too hot.
Yeah, so we're gonna let it slowly melt the butter and melt the chocolate.
Over here we have our eggs and sugar mixed together.
Yep.
Looks good.
Sour cream into this.
Half a cup of sour cream.
Into there, yeah.
We're doing a 1/2 cup of sour cream. This is disgusting.
Well, that's what the recipe calls for. And you guys never want me to change the recipe.
Sour cream.
Yeah. Set it aside for now.
Set it aside.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we're getting the flour now. As per Mimi's instructions. We've got our flour. Now what?
We measured 2 cups on this plate. Now the recipe calls for 2. But the secret of my cookies is I'm going to add another 1/3 of a cup.
You just gave away the secret.
Reach up there. Left. Get the baking soda and the baking powder. Okay.
Dialed in on these.
I'm going to put a teaspoon of baking powder in there. Now, the recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, but because we're at an altitude, we're only going to put a 1/4 in.
Interesting.
Okay, the next step, until the chocolate and the butter are melted together, then we'll mix them in with the eggs and the sugar.
So in the meantime, we're gonna mix up this little plate.
Okay. Okay, we're ready to add the chocolate to this mixture.
So we're adding the hot chocolate in.
The butter mixture.
The butter and chocolate that's very hot in with the sugar and eggs. Nice.
Now you're going to put the flour and the sour cream in alternately.
A little bit of flour. Now we're gonna add some sour cream. Okay, this is what we're working with. What's our next step, Mimi?
We're going to put chips. It calls for 1.5 cups. I always go a generous 1.5 cups. I think you could even do 2 if you want.
All right, we've got a baking sheet now. And we're gonna do something.
Okay, now we use this little cookie scoop. Put 4 across and 5 down. Prepared the cookie sheet with parchment paper. Now we're going to put it in the oven. It calls for 375 for 10 to 12 minutes. I don't do it quite that hot. I don't like them to get done that much. So I'm going to do it at 365, probably for 9 minutes. Now, they'll seem like they're a little bit undercooked, but that keeps them chewy and soft for days to come.
And this batch makes 40 cookies, so she's about to make her second little set.
This recipe I'm using is a Mrs. Field chocolate chip recipe, and you can add nuts to it. But we're giving some of these cookies to a person that can't eat nuts, they're allergic. But I like to add flour to all my cookies, and I like to cook them a little bit less than what they say. So this is kind of a Mrs. Fields recipe adjusted. If you like a real sharp or dry, crispy cookie, then I would follow the recipe as it is. Don't add your flour. But if you live in high altitude, you might need to add some flour, and remember, warm eggs, cut down your baking soda a little bit. These are nice, fat, little fluffy cookies, and that's the way I like my cookies.
And here are our cookies. We did good, Mimi.
Okay, thank you for watching, and hope you might want to try our recipe and enjoy these deliciously chewy cookies.